Well, there's Hulu, Netflix, Amazon. Well, now Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is behind a soon-to-launch anti-capitalist streaming service. The New York Democrats sharing a video on Twitter put together by Means TV.
Capitalism is a fun and efficient way to consolidate all the world's resources into the control of a tiny group of massively rich individuals at the expense of everyone else. It rules, and it's totally not feudalism.
All right, let's bring in Fox News contributor Doug Schoen. He's back for more, and senior fellow at the Cato Institute, Johan Norberg. Thank you both for being with us.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, so you see a little bit of the video there from this group. The Congresswoman tweeted that out and added this. How on earth could young people whose wages are flat, costs of living skyrocketing, experiencing increased social instability via bigotry, addiction, and violence, expected to live shorter lifespans than previous gens, dare question the larger economic forces in their lives? Johan.
Well, I think this should be a brief moment of bipartisan understanding, because finally Democrats understand how Republicans have felt for the last 2 years, opening up their Twitter feed and being terrified about what the president is going to write next. I think that many Democrats think the same thing when they watch this Twitter feed and what Alexandra is writing, because now she's supporting a group where several of the participants call themselves not just socialists, but even communists. And they want to abolish capitalism and private property entirely. And to me, it seems like these are a couple of people who do not want to win the next election, because this is a fringe movement, but they have a lot of power among the young and the energized part of the Democratic Party right now.
Right. I mean, look, I believe that capitalism is the most efficient form of wealth creation man has ever known. The way to do it is not redistribution. The way to do it is through giving people the means to get ahead through the society, through hard work, taking responsibility, and achieving. That is the American way. We're not Finland, we're not Sweden. And by the way, those countries have had their own problems too, especially Sweden. So I really think that Johan's not only right, we're going to lose the next election, but we could lose elections for time to come if we do not, as a party, reject socialism, redistribution, and a theory of blaming others for our own situation.
Johan, so many people who are now citing socialism as a good option, do you think that they're misinformed? Do you think that there are different forms of socialism? I mean, do you give them some credit?
I think they're misinformed, especially when it comes to Scandinavian countries. It's so interesting how Sweden and other Scandinavian countries are often mentioned as the examples of socialism. I am a Swede originally, and I just made a documentary, Sweden, Lessons for America, where I say that, look, if Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders want America to be more like Sweden, well, then they would have to reform Social Security, introduce school vouchers, abolish taxes on things like inheritance and property, because Sweden has liberalized dramatically in the last few years, because we tried socialism. We tried socialism in the 1970s and the 1980s, and that was the moment when Sweden began to lag behind. We didn't create any new jobs in the private sectors. Wages did not increase for the young or anything like that. So even the Social Democratic Prime Minister, Finance Minister at the time said that these policies were absurd and they were perverse. Democratic socialism did not work, so we had to try something else.